Hey there, island dreamers, locals, and anyone craving a slice of paradise. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Fun in Key West podcast, where the vibe is always laid back, the stories are salty, and the drinks, well, they're definitely frozen. I'm your host, Michelle O'Connor, your unofficial tour guide to the Conch Republic. Whether you're planning your first trip, your fifth trip, or you're just daydreaming about trading the cubicle for the ocean breeze, you are in the right place. Here's the deal. This podcast is your insider's guide to all things Key West. We're talking where to eat, hello, conch fritters and key lime pie, where to drink, spoiler alert, there will be rum, where to stay, and all the quirky, wonderful things that make Key West the one-of-a-kind paradise we all love. Plus, we'll keep you up to date on the latest happenings, festivals, events, maybe even the occasional Hemingway lookalike sighting. And just to keep things spicy, we'll be bringing on some amazing guests now and then, locals, business owners, and people who know the island like the back of their sandy hand. So grab your flip-flops, pour yourself a cold one, and let's escape to the island state of mind together, whether you're tuning in from your hammock or your commute, while wishing it was a hammock. We've got all the Key West goodness coming your way. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a lot of fun in Key West. Let's dive in. Welcome, welcome. Today we are kicking off our very first Wandering Wednesday of 2026. Whether you are dreaming of escaping the winter blues or planning your next tropical getaway, I've got you covered with everything happening in and around Key West in January. So grab your flip-flops, a slice of key lime pie, and let's dive into the magic of Key West and the Florida Keys.
Welcome to Fun in Key West, where every day feels like a mini fest. Grab a drink, take it slow. We'll show you where the locals go. Food, fun, and stories to tell. Hidden gems you know so well. Your Key West experts here to say it's fun in Key West every day.
Welcome to the Fun in Key West podcast. I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and I am so glad that you are here for our first episode of Wandering Wednesday for 2026. As you know, we explore what is happening around and things that you can do as you wander in and around Key West, but also wander up the Keys. And that's what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be talking all about what you can expect to be happening in Key West in January. So we're going to go through the overall view. If you are watching live, please check in. Tell me, hey, good to see you. Great to let me know where you're at so that I can do a shout out. So why is January one of the best times to visit Key West? Well, if you're coming off of the holidays, crowds can be a little bit lighter than they were in December, especially for New Year's Eve. If you saw all the pictures on social, you're going to know that Key West is the absolute spot to enjoy New Year's Eve. But come January, it's a little less crowded, but there's some peak times because of holidays and snowbirds, but you don't get a lot of that holiday season chaos. Like I said, snowbirds arrive, and so happy hours have a tendency to get a little, happier, friendlier. Snowbirds you can expect to be in Florida, in Key West, from about January through March is most of the time that you're going to see the snowbirds. I think Key West is the absolute antidote to northern winter blues. It lets you escape out of the cold, the snow, and be able to experience some sunshine. There's warm days, cool nights, but it's not cool like you're going to be in a parka cool. It's cool, wear a sweater, wear an extra layer. But like I said, zero parka energy. Think about it. January, Key West, you are probably, if not absolutely, the warmest spot in the continental United States. It's going to be warm. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to be able to do a lot of things outside. Your average highs are going to be in the mid 70s. You have a very low humidity, and so everything just feels, I don't know, dreamy. Your average water temperatures are going to sit around 69, 70 degrees. So it might be a little chilly to go in, but you can still enjoy the happenings of the water activities. It's not as rainy. So for rain, you're going to probably have, I don't know, on average 7 rainy days, roughly about 2 inches for the whole month. So it's not going to be real rainy. Technically, January is the coldest month for Key West, which I have to say is hilarious if you compare it to everywhere else in the country, right? There's still an awful lot of fun things that you can do in Key West. It's a prime time for outdoor season. The temperature is mild. It is not like surface of the sun scorching hot, so you can enjoy a lot of the activities. You can walk around Old Town. You can do those water activities. You can sit out by the pool or head over to one of the beaches. It's not going to be blistering hot. Sunset cruises are amazing in January. I think it's one of the best months to go see a sunset cruise. You go out for dolphin spotting and you can obviously explore those coral reefs. You can do that from a glass bottom boat or you can go snorkeling. If you're driving down from Key Largo, I think it's the perfect time and the perfect season to explore the Overseas Highway. Take your time, explore. Traffic shouldn't be too bad. Just watch those peak seasons, especially around holidays. Hotels in January in Key West, well, that can be hit or miss. Depends on holidays, depends on how everybody is moving through the month of January. But you might be able to find some really good deals off. I say off peak, which means weekends are going to be higher than weekdays. And I know you probably don't want to use your vacation days this early in the year, but if you are escaping those northern winter blues, I'm telling you, those PTO days are worth taking. Overall, like I said, crowds are going to be smaller, but you're going to have some spikes here or there. Plan ahead because this is high season for activities in Key West. So there's a lot happening. And so be prepared for some of those events and plan ahead. We are going to go through some of the things that you can expect to have events in Key West in January. And of course, you're going to wander down the hall. You're going to catch a lot of that live music. You're going to people watch. You're going to do all of those fun things. You're going to grab some key lime pie. You're going to enjoy some great food. You're going to head over to enjoy some happy hours. Again, Conch Seafood Republic, one of my favorite happy hours at the bar. Grab those Key West Reds off menu if they have them. Well worth that. And of course, you're going to get your picture taken at the southernmost buoy. It is still in its temporary spot, but that makes it kind of fun because then you can say, hey, I remember when it was here, and then you can come back and compare all those pictures. Obviously, it's a great time to do day trips and road trips. Think about going up to Bay Honda. Of course, you can take place tours like Up the Keys Tours and take a trip up to Bay Honda or go over to the Dry Tortugas. You can take the seaplane over. You can take the Yankee Freedom. We had a conversation last night on the socials about taking a private boat over. You can take a private boat over. Just follow the rules of where to dock, and you're going to have a park fee, so be sure to pay attention to those things. But you can also, there's private charters. So if you're those Yankee Freedom and the seaplane over to the Dry Tortugas does book up very early in advance. So if that is absolutely something on your bucket list that you cannot live without, I suggest you book that before you arrive. So let's dive into some of the exciting events that are happening in Key West in January. So January 19th through the 24th, you have the Southernmost Regatta. So if you are into regattas and sailboats, the top sailing teams from around the world show up. Competitive racing, island vibes. You can head over to places like the Galleon for after racing, for mingles and all of that. But be sure to check out the Southernmost Regatta. I think it's a really fun thing just to check out and see, especially if you love watching the boats out on the water. Plus, it's great for people watching. Something else that you might want to check out is the Key West Literary Seminar. If you're part of our book club, let me back that up. If you're not part of our book club, head over to FunInKeyWest.com. Sign up for our book club. It's so much fun. It's free. Go enjoy it. But the Key West Literary Seminar is January 8th through the 11th, and it's a world-renowned annual event, and it celebrates the art of storytelling and all of that. So that if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to check that out. Up in Key Largo, January 9th through the 10th, you're going to have the Florida Keys Wounded Warrior Project, and that's the Soldier Ride for 2026. Be sure to check that out if you're going to be able to support all of that. One of the highlights in January is the Mile Zero Fest. It's a stunning 5 days of top Texas red dirt and Americana music, beachfront parties, unforgettable times, and that's January 27th through the 31st. It is a blast. If you are a music lover, if you are a Key West lover, you are going to absolutely adore and love the Mile Zero Fest. If you're over in Island Murata and able to check out the happenings up in Island Murata, be sure to check out on the third Thursday of the month. They have the Murata Way, and from 6 to 9, they have vendors out. You can go explore and check out the artists and do a little bit of shopping and supporting the local art over there. January 7th, which is today, through the 10th over at the Red Barn, you have Christine Mild, and she is back at the Red Barn doing the Queens of Country. So think Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn. Just an absolute fabulous show. Be sure to go check that out. You're going to, at the Tropic Cinema, they offer various events throughout the month and throughout the year. They're doing Italian Night at the Movies tonight. And so be sure to check out that if you still have time. If you don't, be sure to check out our calendar events over at under what to do over at FunInKeyWest.com, and you'll be able to see the whole list of things that are happening. Let's see, for various times throughout January, February, and March, you will have Ben Harrison at Key West Theater. So we'll have those dates available and a link to purchase tickets. Marathon Community Theater, they're running The Odd Couple. I love The Odd Couple. I just think every time I see it on stage, it comes back with something totally different than you expect. Each actor has their own interpretation, and I just think it's an awesome thing to explore. You are going to have events over at the Custom House, and there are rotating exhibits. So be sure to check out their calendar. We'll have a link to a lot of the things that they're doing over there. You're also going to have fishing tournaments going on. So if you are into fishing, be it Key Largo, Island Murata, all the way down, you're going to be able to find that. January 9th through February 15th, you are having Old Cameras New York, and it's photography by Key West artists. There's two of them, Michael and Mark, and they're doing an exhibit, and we'll have a link for that. But if you're into photography or you just love being able to see other people's view of the world through photography, be sure to check out that exhibit. You have the Florida Keys Celtic Festival that's happening this weekend, and that's up in Island Murata. You have yoga on the docks. Of course, that is down in the lower keys. And if you're into yoga, there's a lot of places and events that are occurring and happening that offer that. Taking Tangents Tour is going to be sponsored by Ram's Head, and that's David Hill, and he's going to be doing that on January the 11th. You have the Historic Key West Cemetery Stroll. So this is what's interesting about January, February, and March in Key West. Since there are a lot of people who come to Key West and make it their winter home, there's a lot more activities, especially around the historic markers and what's happening. So be sure to check out some of these historic guided tours. The Cemetery Stroll is one. They do small groups. It's about a 90-minute guided tour, and we'll have more information on that. Of course, you have the Friends of the Library speaker series. Again, if you're part of our book club or not, but you just love to read, be sure to check out the Key West Library. They have an amazing organization that supports the literary arts. That's called the Friends of the Library, and they bring in speakers. I'm telling you, it's a great thing to do. Los Lobos. Anybody remember them? I do. I love Los Lobos. They're going to be at the Key West Theater January the 13th. The studios of Key West throughout the month is also hosting events, so be sure to check out their calendar. The 5th annual Key West Chick Fest is the 14th through the 18th. Live music, beach parties, island adventures. Can't beat that, right? You also have events that are going on throughout supporting those in Key West. Ram's Head is also presenting and sponsoring Asleep at the Wheel on January the 15th at the Key West Theater, so be sure to check that out. The Waterfront Playhouse is hosting their winter 2026 season, and so they have Tuesdays with Maury. That's a spotlight series, and that's running various evenings in January. Cashed Out is going to be at the Key West Theater on the 16th. Jimmy Buffett's Coral Reefer Band will be keeping the party going and they're going to be January 16th there in Key West. Be sure to check that out. I'm sure it's sold out. I don't know. Haven't checked it out. I'll have to check that out. Ram's Head is also presenting BritPack, the ultimate British music experience. So if you love British music and love that whole impact of that, be sure to check that out. That's on the 17th. You have Movies Under the Stars. Again, Tropics Cinema offers a lot of these type of events throughout the month and throughout the year. So be sure and see if they have any of that happening while you are in town. If marathon and running is your thing, you know that there's a ton of these that occur throughout Florida and especially the Florida Keys. On January 17th through the 18th, you're going to have the 28th annual Key West Half Marathon and Run Fest. And so I think that's amazing stuff that's happening there. As you can see, there is absolutely everything happening in Key West and the Florida Keys. We do have a link to all of this that is happening over on our website, FunInKeyWest.com. Under what to do, check out our calendar of events. It will be updated here shortly. I am working on getting that updated. But again, there are fishing tournaments, there's music, there is literary events, there is theater happening at the waterfront, at the Red Barn, and be sure to check all of those out. And there's a Truman Music Series, so you have the Jazz Society coming in. The Key West International Dance Company is doing things. Ram's Head is bringing in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band over at the theater. So again, Key West Theater offers a lot of these is the music venue for a lot of these things. If you want to be in the know of what's happening in Key West, I'm going to tell you again and again and again, head over to FunInKeyWest.com. Be sure to check out our calendar of events, but sign up for our newsletter that gets you on the inside scoop of what's happening in Key West and what's happening with Fun in Key West. And plus, I drop a trivia question every week. And if you get that trivia question right, you get to be put into a drawing for a wonderful Key West swag box that I send out every month. So I am Shell with Fun in Key West, and I am so glad that you stopped by for our first Wandering Wednesday episode of 2026. And it's always so fun to be able to check in with all you guys and see what you guys are doing and check in and make sure that you guys had a wonderful New Year's. And if you didn't get a chance to check it out, I did post my interview with Donzel Leggett, and he wrote a book called Make Your Destiny Happen. And I think it's very timely for 2026, especially early January 2026. We're all in this. We're going to do all these wonderful things, have our goals all set in front of us. Be sure to check that out over on our YouTube channel and be able to take in some of his experiences. He's a multi-generation conch. And he talks about coming back and visiting and growing up in Key West. But he also talks about how you can take control of your life and not let life take control of you. And I think it's a pretty exciting story that he offered. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure, like I said, check us out on all the socials. You guys have a great and fabulous day. Thank you so much for stopping in. We are going to, you know what? I want some feedback on our new podcast song. Do you like it? What do you think? I'm going to exit out with the exit music, but you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Thank you for joining me today on this sunny stroll through all the fun and happenings in Key West in January. Don't forget to check out our website, FunInKeyWest.com, for the latest events, insider tips, and sign up and grab that happy hour list so that you get our newsletter and get a chance to answer trivia questions. And that gets you a chance to win some Key West swag every month. Follow us on all the socials and share your adventures and let me know what you think of the new podcast too. Until next time, keep wandering, keep smiling, and keep chasing those island vibes. See you soon.